Hi, how's everybody doing? I know it's May 2020, it's the weekend, and we just had the NFL draft, and it was virtual, and it actually seemed pretty cool because it went by a lot faster than 10 hours and stuff from the past. But that's why I'm wearing my faithful shirt. I wore this shirt before, and people have said, you like I've been out at places, and they're just like, God must be really good to you. And I was just not getting it at first, and which is like a lot of things in my life. And then it was like, oh, faithful, like, yes. And I just wanted to kind of go over a few things that I haven't maybe went over with you yet. I just kind of came on the scene, and what had happened was there were videos that say 6 and 5 years ago that they were done, and I had no idea that I had a YouTube channel, but the algorithms and the world we live in today created a channel. Yeah, so it was pretty trippy, and so the gentleman who's helped me, Brian Bishop, over the years, a lot of my videos, a lot of the content that I share with you, he's the one who told me, hey, you already have a YouTube channel, and it's created, and it's a turquoise circle with a D in it. And I was like, oh my goodness, checked it out, like, that's me, how can they do that? And it's like, once you uploaded it through Google Drive, I don't know, he explained it all to me. So I was like, hey, you know what, this is the time. So I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Like, really, I had no idea. And I truly talked to my videographer, Bishop, who's always done my videos. And I go, man, if I can just have a coin flip chance, to do this better. And so it's been different. It really has. I'm a very verbal person, but I'm not a very IT type of person, but I'm learning. And I had no idea what I was getting into, really. So back to the coin flip chance, I found out that with my home PC, I needed to get a camera. So I'm going to share some IT stuff because a lot of the things that I have been able to expound on, talk about, it have a lot to do with me. And it has a lot to do with my experiences with these things. So that's what this is about. So allow me to expound on it, if you may. Well, I'm turning all red and stuff. Like, I actually envision you looking at me. So I had a huge learning curve in understanding about video editing and what I needed to do. And Bishop was a very good mentor, and he explained to me all the different equipment that it takes. And I didn't know what it took. And so what ended up happening was he spoke to me and he explained to me. He says, hey, Daniel, what you're going to need to do is you're actually going to need to get yourself a gimbal, which is what I'm using, a Smooth 4, to hold my phone. And then you're going to have to get a phone that can do the recording. So I got an XS, which is a 10S series, something of that sort. And so then I had to find out that I needed 64 gigs of data, 64 gigs of RAM for my computer to handle the editing program. And then I also had to find out that I needed a new processor. And then I had to find out that I needed an SSD to run Windows 10. Oh yeah, and I had to get Windows 10. And then I had to decide which editing program I wanted to use. So for right now, I'm just kind of sharing with you. I'm using my headphones, and this is how I'm speaking so it can sound clearer. So it can sound clearer, and that I'm using the gimbal Smooth 4, and it's actually on a tripod, and it's this right here. Hold on. It's this thing right here. And it's by these people. Yeah, I'm messing it all up by these people. And this is the case it comes in. It's pretty cool. All right. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of sharing where I bought the stuff that I've used. And so what had happened was I got the gimbal, and it comes with a tripod, which was cool. And then I got my XS iPhone, and they're compatible. You use the Zyplay app, so they can tether. Yeah, and so if you've looked back and seen the interview I did with David Lozo at the Gilroy Garlic Festival, it was crazy trying to figure it out. Like, I have footage of us trying to figure out this gimbal forever. Like, I just bought it like the night before we went there. So I had no idea that I was going to need all this IT stuff. I thought it looked very easy. Like, I would just speak, and then Bishop would go and he would do his stuff, and then he'd send me a video already done, and it had sound and word drops and words going across, and it had a beginning, and then it had me in the right light, and then the ending. But for sure, it's always been one take. And just like today, it's going to probably be more than one take, but it's going to be the best that I can do. Anyhow, so I had to learn a lot. And so that's what I'm sharing with you now. I have all these videos that I have all this content, and sometimes it may seem like, is he talking to adolescents? Is he talking to trauma victims? Is he talking to adults? Is he talking to women? Is he talking to everybody? As we know today, that there are some people who are not binary by any means to a gender or to a culture or a race. People just want to be independent, and that's questions that I want to address today. I just want to let you know that my videos are for everybody. If at any time it feels like I'm talking to adolescents, perhaps it's because during the time that some of those videos were filmed, it was for the M.A.V.E.N curriculum, and it was for the times that myself and other people who purchased the curriculum could use those videos. So those videos were prompts. So when you're sitting there with a lot of adolescents and you're working with them, you know, sometimes a video, a few minutes will get them all focused in. And I didn't realize that it was a way to attack their imagination. There's a lot of room for improvement. There always will be. There's no mistaking that. And I just want to grow. I want to get better at my videos. I want to get better at the content. And although I have a lot of content where I can put one in a week, there are some that I have filmed since I started in January of 2020. And again, remember the videos from 5-6 years ago, the algorithms created that. I just wanted to assume control, like, hey, this is my name, this is my channel. So I want to reach out, and I want to help everybody. One of the things that I have found that's very helpful for me is asking questions and Googling things, you know, asking Google and they find it, and there's so many tutorials. So one of the things that I had left out earlier was, what editing program did I ever decide on? Well, I tried DaVinci, and then I tried M.A.V.E.N. That's Michael, Oprah, Victor, Adam, Victor, Irene. M.A.V.E.N. And that's who I use. That's who I use to edit, and I've just gotten a little bit better and better. I mean, you're probably like, dude, you're not that good. I mean, Bishop's videos blow yours away. And that's cool. That's cool. I want to know that. I feel that. I just know that I have a lot to share with you, and that it's a big responsibility when you post stuff. It is. It's a big responsibility to post things, to share, to be vulnerable online. And so I give a lot of kudos to people who have done this forever, and the pioneers, the people who started. So
good morning, this is Daniel Longoria. Hi, how are you? I'm coming to you from Madera, the Evolution Fitness Gym and Fitness Center. And I was wanting to talk to you, as I have before, in the M.A.V.E.N lesson curriculum plans. I've been all over the state, covered a lot of topics. And if you've been on my website, newprovisions.org, you see my bodybuilding pictures. And you'll see some of them as I'm speaking now. There was a time when I paroled from prison June 6th of '96, and I was covered in tattoos. And eventually I removed my tattoos. My friends and the drugs and alcohol and the tobacco. I found myself having all day to do nothing after work. And so I wanted to change that. I wanted to do something positive. I wanted to do something better, because I started finding out that I had all this room in my life. And you know, the best room in my life was the room that was in my head. And what was I going to do with the room? And so I decided to get into working out. It was a way to change my self-image. And having been bullied, having been through a lot of different stuff as a kid, and eventually working against that, becoming a bully, putting on all the tattoos and everything that goes with it. Because people like me, there's a term that says people wear a mask. People like me, we don't wear a mask. We wear the whole costume. So it wasn't just about having the look, it was about having the look and having all the tattoos that went with it and the prison record. So in changing that, I found myself with room for improvement, and I entered that room and I looked for advice, I looked for help. And little by little, I found out that bodybuilding was something I wanted. Not to get huge, not to get scary, not to hurt people, but it was a way, all that unresolved anger and energy, because fear and anger has a lot of energy, and I was full of fear and anger. And so working out started helping me remove it. Little by little, I started getting into shape. As you'll see in my pictures, when I was 33, 35, up into the age of 45. Not only did I find a way to improve my life, but with training and health and nutrition, but I also found a way to rejuvenate not only my physical self, but my mental self. And there's always great opportunities in the gym to network and meet people and spot people, not just literally spot them, but to actually spot people with advice, life experience. Because there's a lot of young people in the gym, and a lot of them need a little guidance. And then there's a lot of people in the streets, old and young, male and female, that need a little guidance. And what the gym did for me is it offered me some discipline. Because as you know, that there comes this point where you make a goal, I want to work out, I want to achieve these goals, but it's fleeting. Willpower, motivation, it's unsustainable. So what you need to do is you have to find ways. You need somebody to keep you on track. So it's good to get a workout partner if you can in the beginning. And there's this word called nebulous. And nebulous is one of those words that leads to inaction. And so if you're not careful, you'll work out for 1 day, 2 days, be sore, and then there's no one to hold you accountable and you stop. And later on, I'm going to talk about more of this, but I wanted to just talk a little bit about what had happened to me in my life and why I got into bodybuilding and how it helped me. And after changing the way I looked on the outside, I was able to realize that the big change needed to come from the inside. And so it's okay if you start from the outside in. And I changed by removing my tattoos, changing the way I was shaped, changing the way I cut my hair, the way I dress, and that was all okay, but I always found there was still hurt and pain left in me. And so what I ended up doing was working on my insides. And as you know, through the different lesson plans in the M.A.V.E.N curriculum, that whether you're young, whether you're male, you're female, whether you're the one with the problem of substance use disorder, alcoholism, or low self-esteem, or about how to work on your inside and your outside. So that's why I'm at the gym today. I'm very grateful to Evolution Fitness here in Madera and Rick for letting me come and record here. And I got some more stuff for you guys. Thank you, and as always, you can go to newprovisions.org and you can look it up, and feel free to call me to come speak at your school, to do anything I can to help your community or you, or even your educators or your staff on how to do a more focused job on serving your clients. Thank you very much, and again, have a good workout.
Everybody loves to learn, but nobody loves to be taught. And you have to remain teachable. You just do. Speaking for me, it works for me. I learned that whole IT stuff. I learned about the video stuff, these intro video things. I've shared with you about learning how to edit and just being able to share more openly with you. I feel very grateful. One of my favorite words is gratitude, and I like sharing that. And my primary stream financially is working with adolescents, and I'm really doing my best because, you know, it troubles me and it bothers me, you know, and it bothers me that there are people that are passing away before they even become addicts, you know, like before they even become addicts. Like, I mean, I'll share and talk about a lot of different things, but come on, man. Before you're an addict, you overdose. Before, you know, you're eligible to, sorry, I just had to compose myself. I just think about it that so many of the children, it's just unfair. Over the course of my career in human service, several people have passed away. Several. Overdoses, violence. So car rental places, right? Car rental places have done this big old study, a huge study on the human brain. And so your prefrontal cortex up here, which is really the stuff you have to turn off. You know, I've learned from new thought leaders about this, and it can be through meditation, it can be through dance, it can be through music, it can be through prayer. There's a lot of different ways to shut off your prefrontal cortex. Just ask John Lilly from the 60s, but he kind of went a little too far. But anyway, so your prefrontal cortex, your PFC, when you turn that off, that's when you have those things called shower thoughts. That's when you have those thoughts right before you fall asleep. Or something's bugging you at night and you fall asleep because you can't remember where you left it. And then the next morning you wake up, I know where it's at. So that's because your prefrontal cortex is off. So car rental companies did this huge study. You have to be at least 25 years old to rent a vehicle. And people wondered, like, why not 18? You can get a license. Why not 16 if you have a permit? Why not 21? You can drink at 21. Come on. You can do a lot of things at 21. And car rental agencies had done their research and found out that your prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed until the age of 25. Who would have known? So again, stay on the learning side of things. Stay away from quick fixes, because believe me, I used to fix a lot and it was quick, and in the end it hurt a lot more than it helped. And I'm sorry if I make jokes that may be off-colored or may seem different, but I just want to be as transparent as possible. I want to keep bringing you good content. I want to keep sharing things with you. Like the video I shared today, I want to talk to you about my friends and my mentors, my group of mentors. And so I want to stay tuned for more stuff. And thank you. Sincerely. Thank you. Stay safe. And new thought leaders, huh? Who would have thought there'd ever be a COVID-19? Talk about new thought leaders. I think we're all mavericks, pioneers to this new frontier post COVID-19. It's coming. It's coming. It really is. And I'm faithful. I mean, like, some people have mistaken. They don't know it's the 49ers that I work for. But I'm faithful. And just keep your faith, whatever that may be. Whether, it doesn't matter if it's in science, a power greater than yourself, or something that you can't see. Keep your faith. Things are going to get better. We're going to get past this COVID-19. And we're all going to be new thought leaders. And we're going to come up with great innovations and new ideas. And I just feel great, you know, that I took the step forward and I felt comfortable and I was able to start creating these videos and putting them together and share them with all of you. I really am grateful. Thank you for all that you do. First responders, in my own family, my oldest daughter is a nurse downtown Fresno. My brother's wife is a nurse. And I have people in my family who are veterans. My oldest brother, Sergio, passed away in the 80s in the Air Force. And my youngest brother is a wounded warrior. My nephew is a Marine. And my youngest daughter, she's a veteran of the Navy, and her husband's still in the Navy. And my brothers are correctional officers, and my sister was physician assistant, a PA at the county jail here for the county. And it just seems like there are so many people related to me that are in these fields of helping others. And I just want to make a contribution, I guess. And the way that I help people is with my experiences, offering a shortcut. So hopefully you won't have to go down that way. And again, thank you for tuning in. And it's really good to see you.